guys, to another Blackfire Productions round table discussion. It's been quite some time since we've had one. I think the last one that I had was sort of with Dawn and Ian and stuff like that. I had a round table discussion.
Yeah, and it's been a long time since we've just sat on a couch and chatted with you.
And with each other.
Well, no, we've done a lot of chatting with each other,
yes,
especially over this past weekend.
Yeah, absolutely, which brings us here now, like to this video.
And to this place. We are currently sitting in our Airbnb in Ottawa, Ontario.
Yeah.
And
we just finished day 2 of the Capital City Bloodbath.
Day 3.
Day 3 of
Capital City Bloodbath.
See, my days are blurring together already, and I'm not even drinking. And
hey, what are you saying? What are you saying?
Nothing much. And it's also of the Desolation of Ottawa tournament.
Exactly.
Which is, if you don't know, it is the Hobbit tournament that we ran at the Capital City Bloodbath.
Well, the 2 Hobbit tournaments that we were going to run, then didn't think we were going to run one, and then eventually we managed.
We also were on the fence about running the second one too.
We were.
Then we got the numbers, which was good. So.
Yes. So little side thing. We pegged it out with a bunch of people. Hey, are you interested? Are you willing to go? Everybody was like, yeah, sure, we'll be there. And then our ticket sales weren't very high, which it happens. It happens to every event. We don't fault anybody for saying that they could go on that sort of thing.
No.
Money happens, life happens, work happens, everything happens. But it meant that we, at a point, were not sure if it was viable for us to still come up here and
or more important, for the people that already bought the tickets, because there was a handful of people that already bought the tickets.
Yeah.
But would it be worthwhile for them?
Yeah, for their money, is it worth coming up for a 3-day event in Ottawa if there's only 6 people playing or 8 people playing? But then we got the ticket numbers that we needed to, and we got 14 players, which was
more than what we originally thought. After people weren't buying the tickets and stuff.
Yeah, we had a couple last-minute sign-ups, which is great. Hi, Chris. Thank you.
Yes. and Garrett as well.
Yeah. Yes, so he was actually the last one, and he won a OSBGL mug that was provided by Evan Israel.
Yeah, and so, or as people know him as Evan Woodruff.
So
it was really, really good. 14 players. I know it's not a huge tournament, but for our location, because our core group for the Hobbit SBG is
what I like to call the GA of the GTA, the greater area of the Greater Toronto area.
So basically, it's all the way like to Hamilton and
even over into London, Newmarket,
it's starting to grow, right?
With the OHA.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
So it was good. You know what I mean? And it was great that we had that last few people sign up, got us the players that we needed, made it viable.
Made it worth everybody's money, and I think everybody had an amazing time.
I think everybody did. And if you didn't, don't say anything. I don't want to hear things.
He doesn't want to hear things. Private message me, let me know what was wrong, and we'll try and fix it for the next big event that we have.
Absolutely. Yeah. I jest. But yeah, so it was good though, because we on the Friday, because we didn't do the doubles. Theoretically, we at least in planning doing the doubles like we had the original idea for. We just did an open gaming, so everybody who showed up on the Friday, they could show up at the convention and they could come and
do whatever they wanted. There was some X-Wing demos that Michael tried out that he enjoyed, so he thinks he's going to dive into that game too.
There was obviously our tables were all set up and available to be played on. There was. A ton of different things.
It was just kind of nice. A lot of people were kind of trickling in around the 1, 2 o'clock, so it was kind of nice to get in and not have to game right away with guys. It was nice to get some conversations and some chats. Yeah. Because
got a battle report filmed during the day. You
got one with Rowan, so that would be good. And then we started to play. Then we were dealing with some banner stuff. We got a new banner. You'll see photos of that,
which is good.
We did, and it looks gorgeous.
Yep.
Smart move on the color. I wanted black and white.
I wanted picture. Then I was like, well, if we can't do picture, let's do color at least. And then something to make it pop.
We got a good happy medium, and I think it's actually what it needed to be.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree,
so 100%. So we're happy about that. And then the CCBB guys, the Capital City Bloodbath, they're all Canhammer guys.
Canhammer
is who runs it. But
Canhammer and Moose Machine.
Moose Machine runs.
So CCBB is the convention name.
Yeah.
That started with the Canhammer guys, but then has pulled in others such as ourselves now and Moose Machine.
We'll talk about them in a little bit. But so the Canhammer guys, because they got all the plaques for us and that sort of thing.
Yep.
Walk over with our double plaques, and they're just like, "Hey, not sure what you really want to do with these. We had already bought them, so like they're yours if you want them." And
we weren't gonna throw them out.
We weren't gonna throw them out, and Derek was like, 2, 4, 6, 8, 8. Hey, we have enough to do a round robin.
Yeah.
With me playing as one, and also, Michael was playing X-Wing, so we actually got a new guy who was playing War Machine.
Yeah, MJ.
Jumped in, and we did.
Yeah, he was there to play Batman, but
I thought he was.
He was Batman.
Batman, you're right. It was another guy that was War Machine.
And so he came over, did demo, and then jumped into the tournament.
Yeah. So then, what it turned out is and we were really short on time at this point. It was probably like 4-ish, 5-ish.
Yeah.
It was about 5 o'clock.
Late afternoon.
Yeah, and it was like, so how can we do something that still kind of is fun and enjoyment? So we did 150 points per team.
Yep.
Could split that however you wanted.
Yeah.
No heroes. And
just
troops on a 2x2, last man standing. Victory point conditions were number of kills that you made.
Yeah, that's it.
So that was that. So it was more like the winner always got the amount of victory points as the other team. The loser got that, so it sort of balanced out and it all kind of worked.
Yeah.
It ended up being Derek and Rowan got first.
Yep. Father-son team, which
Father-son
is
team.
so it's good for that.
Don and Garrett
got second.
John and I got third, and he still ran an eagle. He did still run an eagle in that one.
Of course.
He ran eagles, I ran 4 Army of the Dead base. 150 was there. We got third, and then it was MJ and Brain Fart right now.
Not Michael.
Nope. Chris, you're right. It was Chris.
Was it Chris?
Yeah, because Chris came up with Don and all that. Yeah. Like I said, Brain Fart. It's been a long weekend. They got a Player's Choice /last because we had those plaques, so we gave them to them. So
that's right.
Kind of like wooden spoon prizes.
But the funny thing is, for our league standings, the tournament fell into what qualified as a tournament for the minor scale.
It did. Shockingly, it did. So it is, according to Don and Ben, going to be a league.
That's right.
An OSBGL league standing tournament. So
which Ronan and Derek won, so they got
they
nice
are
points for that.
Ecstatic because they've been in that kind of top second. Like they're always around.
Rowan's been getting like higher up there. Like he's a young kid, early teens, like 13,
something like that.
14, maybe 12.
He'll correct us.
Exactly.
He'll correct us.
But like he's always been sort of like doing top tier, but not quite in the top 3. You know what I mean? And so he's been playing some really good players, and he's really getting to know the game.
He is very much so.
Like,
it was well deserved. It was a well deserved win.
So it's good for him, good for Derek. You know what I mean? And it'd be good for their standings as well. So.
Yeah, 100%. So that was kind of doubles day.
Yeah, / Friday. Friday.
That was Friday. Yeah, that was what was supposed to be our quote unquote doubles day.
Yeah. So which ended up happening anyways.
Yes, it did.
Plus, obviously, with the tickets, everybody got to hang out around lunchtime and eat lunch together.
Yeah, lunch was provided by them and all that sort of thing. But then we had Saturday, Sunday was our singles, which I said was a rousing success.
1,000 points, 6 rounds. So we played 4 games Saturday, 2 games on Sunday.
They played 4 games.
Yes, when I say we mean like us as the Hobbit SPE community. So and so it was good. Like we had a variety of different teams. So I will say, Derek and Michael having the same basic Moria faction. Yeah. You know, they both brought Watchers in the water, or Watchers in the water, and so. So it was funny when they got paired off together. They were fighting each other. So
tickle fight.
Yes.
You'll see the photo. It's on OSBGL. So.
Yes, but it was good. We started off. We just used the tournament pack from the Grand Tournament at Warhammer World.
And the same one that they used at Articon and everything like that. That's kind of becoming our. I think it's becoming.
It balances the victory points, and so when I do my tournaments, I like to personally do win-loss ties, and then seconded by victory points, because the victory points, it means that you're actually playing for the scenario.
100%. You should. Those victory points are important, and they should be important.
Yeah.
So you should play for them and not just try and kill the other guy, because that gets rid of the strategy part of SPG.
And that's why. And then I follow that with a third or tertiary of strength schedule if it's needed, right? Yeah. So, it was good. The scenarios are great. I really like them. I haven't actually used them yet until now. You know what I mean? So it was interesting. I like how they were all balanced. and they played it pretty well.
They did.
So
yeah.
there's a couple of things that we noticed with the scenarios, and
just some wording
like
issues
the
and those sorts
Maelstrom
of
of War
things.
type of thing. It was just missed out that in the wording that the one army would have to deploy the entirety of their army before the other, so we just rotated back and forth.
Yeah, we did the flip flop. You deploy one warband, I deploy one warband, which
but
I
that's
think
pretty
makes
standard.
more sense.
It's pretty standard.
It's standard, and it means that one army isn't completely screwed.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. So Saturday, by the end of Saturday, so we had a lot of players that were top tier, and then so by the end of Saturday, we had one person that was 4-0, and that was Rowan.
That was wrong.
And like it was fantastic because we were playing 1,000 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And no limits. Like we didn't put any army composition limits or anything like that.
You could. There was,
just
everything. We didn't see a Tom Bombadil.
no, and we didn't see anything like a smog or anything like that.
We didn't even see a Mumuk. We
No.
wanted to see one of
It would
those.
have been good to see some of these bigger monsters.
But we did see Watchers of the Water that we typically don't see. There was a dragon in there as well.
And I'm surprised we didn't see like a Sauron. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something along those lines. I'm really surprised actually. Yeah, he's 400 points, but like, he's pretty damn survivable. And when you field him with a whole bunch of other things like a shade or something like that, that could be nasty.
Yeah, we saw a bunch of. I think a lot of people just kind of brought their standard lists and beefed it up.
That's right.
They didn't decide to go
Well,
something.
The league.
Derek was different. He played evil and he never plays evil,
No,
so that was different.
I thought he
for
was
him.
going to bring all his tree, his ants and tree beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what he usually does.
And that's what he always begs us to do.
Yeah, which is
So
it surprised me he didn't.
You got to stop begging us now because we gave you the opportunity and you didn't. But I will at Broadswords 4, which is next week on Friday, 26. So little peg. We'll talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was good. So Ronan decided to go 4-0, and everybody else was the top. The other top contenders were all 3-1.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much summed up Saturday. Like it was good.
It was a good day. It was a long day.
Oh yeah.
245 hours
Yeah.
gaming, so you're looking at about 6 hours in between breakfast, lunch, and then the end of the day. So it's long.
And
I wasn't even gaming, and I was tired.
Yeah. Well,
So-
you're using your mental capacity all day, right? Dealing with things.
Sure.
Well, this guy was.
Exactly, I wasn't.
But it's cool though.
Yeah.
Like even when we were there, we were officiating, but like we were also mingling with people
We
and
were.
stuff like that too.
We were doing demo games,
Yeah,
everything like that.
I think because our league is primarily Central Ontario to Western Ontario. You know, for involvement, we have the odd people or a few people that are more like Eastern Ontario that sometimes come out to our events.
Jordan in Montreal.
Yeah.
We have Ben who's in
Ferris
Bay.
Bay and his,
We have
and
a
his
couple
brother,
guys.
Josh.
Kingston.
Exactly.
So
it was good to come out east side of Ontario and start making things grow there. And when we were doing our demos, like we did about 10 or 11 demos, I think,
something
through
like that, yeah.
both days, and we started getting people interested there. And that's
Old
really
players
what we
that
wanted.
hadn't played in a
Yeah,
while.
they have
new
armies
people.
in their closet.
Exactly.
So, like, what was his name?
Dylan.
Dylan, yeah. Like, he came over and he's one of the vendors. Well, he was the vendor.
He was the vendor that was there.
He owns a whole bunch of shops around Ottawa.
Yeah, Multi-Zone I think is one of his biggest ones.
Yeah.
We've been told. So,
And
so definitely check them out.
So he ended up coming and chatting with us. Like I first went over and chatted with him because I knew that he was really into the Knights models side of things, and that he was like the North American distributor for that. So I just wanted to meet and make some connections, and then we started chatting about the Hobbit.
Yeah.
And then he came over, he did a demo,
Yeah.
and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull
could,
everything out."
You could tell he was just like hooked right back into it.
Well,
like,
he said he pulled out the book that night and started reading everything.
No. He didn't pull out the book. He pulled out all the books and read until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
He literally came back in the day, so he's like, "Yeah, I basically know now all the rules of the game." It's like, what? And he was like, "Yeah, I stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning, so thanks a lot, guys." I was like, sorry.
So it was good, right? So, and then there was like Andrew who was running the Batman tournament.
Yeah, so who's with
Jason, and Jason who
was the ringer for Batman.
Exactly.
I believe,
And then there was MJ who was from Batman, as we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, there were a couple.
There was
War
a guy
Machines.
from Germany even. I can't remember his name now, but he flew over for Batman from Germany, and then saw the Hobbit, and so I started talking to him, and we gave him a demo. and he really enjoyed it. And then I was like, well, there are people in Germany. Like, there's a huge group of people in Germany that play.
So if you're watching this guy's in Germany, you gotta find this guy and pull him in.
Well, I already told him to find the Facebook group.
For the German group?
For the German group.
Okay.
And I gave him the name and everything like that. And I'm like, you can make your connections there. And so he's going to look for it and hopefully
he's close to one of you so that...
Yeah, I'm not sure where in Germany he's from. So, but yeah, it's really good because like those are just some of the connections that we start making on the Saturday.
That's what I've found going out to all of these different events and that sort of thing. Like I've been going to Broadswords, which is run by the Hamilton Tabletop Gaming Society, and doing demo games and those sorts of things there. And more of us exist than what we know of.
Yes.
And they've all got it in their closet.
But there's no connection.
Yeah,
right?
so you've got to go to those things. So wherever you are that you're watching this, go out there and plug your game
publicly
where you don't already play it.
Yeah, because if you stick to the same place time and time again,
you're
barely ever gonna get new people because they won't come. You know what I mean? But if you go to them to places where you're out in the public, where it's sort of like you're cross contaminating, but you're not contaminating. You're just cross pollinizing, maybe. I don't know what you want to call it, but like you're basically going and you're meeting up with people that are playing games, so they already have that like-minded mentality, and then they see that and they get interested because like our boards. Let's be honest, our boards are pretty damn good.
Our boards at any OSBGL event are not.
Good.
None of them are cardboard, like bare cardboard buildings or anything like that. So
and each of our boards were different. Like it had a different theme behind it. So it's not like they were super pricey. It's not like we spent $600 per board. We just used a train that we had. Ben brought some down.
I built some new stuff,
exactly.
which you saw some photos of and those sorts of things.
So that drew people's attention too. As Dylan was saying, he's like, half the thing about the Hobbit is that you're playing to the theme.
Yeah,
and you are. You know what I mean? That's what brought us to this game was the setting, the theme. And he's like, and your boards, if you don't set them up right, aren't going to
draw new people in.
Portray that. And he's like, but he complimented us on ours because he's like,
so did Chris with Canhammer.
Yeah.
They said with the CCBB, he was like, you guys said you'd bring good boards, and you delivered. So it was like, thank you very much for the compliment.
Yeah. So it's good just to see people because like now I was talking with people, a couple of guys that are interested, and they were questioning me on what they should buy, how could they get into this for cheap, and so I gave them some options, and like it really goes down to what they wanted to play. So like one guy, Jason, he wanted to play Mirkwood, and so like Thranduil's Halls, and so I told him like you can buy a box of Palace Guards for $50 Canadian. You can buy a box of Mirkwood Rangers for $50 Canadian. Then you can buy like Legolas and Thranduil, or Legolas and Toriel, or Thranduil and Toriel, and that's pretty much 500 points. Give or take. Actually give a little bit because Thranduil is 40 points without anything, 140 points without anything. So like you're hitting that 500 point mark.
You're into a good game size.
Yeah.
You're into a good game size.
With at that point in time, based off Thranduil, if you get them on a horse, right? That's $50. Toriel is what, 35, something like that, and then each of those are the other box.
So you're looking at around $200 with tax.
Yeah,
maybe a little
like
bit more.
$200. He's like, oh, that's not bad. That's a good start. And I'm like, exactly. Then I'm like, then if you want to expand, maybe add in some of the Mirkwood Elves, Calvary, which are great because everybody should have horses, because they're great.
Except for hobbits, they have ponies.
Yeah, but it's still Calvaries, which is important, right? So
I'm just being an asshole.
So that's, and then like another guy wanted to play like Gondor, so I'm like, well, it's really good playing Gondor because you're getting 12 guys for like $35 Canadian.
Yeah.
Because it was, I believe, the German that wanted to play the Gondor, and so it's like it's a good faction to get into because you can get those models for cheap generally, right?
Yeah.
So he'll be looking into that.
Yeah, so hopefully. And then, so that was Saturday and a whole bunch of more information. And then Sunday, we had 2 games.
Yep.
Which ended up really good. We tried to get everybody on different tables. That was my struggle for the week.
Yeah.
And playing some different opponents and that sort of thing. Last round was just by rank and
whoever was most closest together.
So we actually, on our top table, had Ben and Rowan, who had just played as the top table the round before, but that's how the way the cookie crumbles.
They were both still top place, so they played again. So
that's how the cookie crumbles.
But so the hall itself was the EY Center in Ottawa that this was all held in. We only had like one, I don't want to say small, but it was one portion of the convention center.
I'd say it was like a football.
Yeah, well,
maybe not as long, but pretty wide.
But it was pretty wide.
Bigger than a basketball court,
and so
for sure.
so we had that whole section, and tables were set up, and there was good spacing between tables and everything
Tons
else.
of spacing.
And then they had round tables set up for where everybody could mingle and then eat.
They provided lunches. That was great value.
Yeah,
they were great food. So.
Yeah, so like day one was hamburgers, fries, salads.
They were the crispy fries.
Yeah. Day two was a pulled pork sandwich, salads, and then
snacks and those sorts of things.
Yeah, every day had various desserts, and then day three, so today was like Chinese buffet, and then they ran out of some of their food, and so they ended up getting pizza made for everybody else that didn't get as much as they should have.
It was buffet style, but it wasn't supposed to be
everybody
all you can eat buffet.
Yeah. It was
and we think that happened a little bit, which it happens. It happens. So,
right?
but yeah, and then we got the short end of the stick because we were busy doing rankings, and then they're like, no food for you. No, we'll get you pizza. So it was great. I mean, they took care of everybody. Everybody. If there were any dietary needs, they were making sure that hey, go talk to the chef if it doesn't work.
Well, there was at least 2 vegans that I was made aware of, and at least one gluten-free person.
Yeah.
They all had separate meals put aside for them every day, and drinks were available all day for free. You know what I mean? And they had a bar in there as well, so if you want to get some alcohol and that, you can do that. And it was good.
It was good. It was great value, great food, great venue.
Yeah,
parking was free. Tables, there was tons of space. Like you couldn't ask for a better spot to host something like that.
No, and like when you look at the value, talking about value, like the tickets that the CCBB guys were charging was $90 per event. You know what I mean? Like, well, I should say for the singles event, they were charging $90 for the singles event, and so like it might seem like a lot, but when you factor in that you got 2 days of gaming with that singles ticket, okay, plus a catered meal both days, plus drinks all day if you needed them,
plus coffee,
plus coffee was set up on the side,
plus a painting competition that was
exactly
open for anybody to go into,
and then on top of that, there was also the swag bags that they got, which had dice.
Wow, you had a lot of work on,
but they threw stuff in too.
You spearheaded that one, but yes, we did have swag.
But everybody joined together.
100%.
And so I don't want to take all the credit for that.
No. But like there is some credit to you for
because like
spearheading a lot of it.
We had people like Battle Brothers Painting Studios who gave us a coupon for everybody.
20%, $20
off.
$20 off. Let's see. We're gonna check a secret weapon
miniatures. They donated a base with a discount. There's Generation Shift that donated everybody a base as well.
In the Hobbit one.
No, for everybody.
Everybody got one. I didn't realize that. Yeah. Gamers Grass. Everybody got a thing of Gamers Grass. Unreleased miniatures.
That was Hobbit.
That was just
because that's all they have. Right? Hobbit stuff. So.
Our 40K is gonna buy unreleased miniatures for the Hobbit.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully, but they didn't get the discount. So there were pens. There was Canhammer did dice.
The owner of WordGames.eu or UK, sorry. He was over with one of my friends, Erdvin, so he's the sponsor for his YouTube channel, Scarredcast, and so he came over, and so that's who donated all the pens.
Gotcha.
There was paintbrushes for the GW guys.
Yeah.
There was Canhammer measuring gauges. Yeah. And Canhammer dice
for everybody.
I think that's it. But it was good.
That's it. Yeah.
It was good. You know what I mean? You got a good
that's still
stuff,
that's
right?
still for that.
And then, so that leads to prizing. Like, the prizing was pretty good as well. Like, compared to some
you looked at the prize tables for all
the
5 different events. For basically just, 2 days of gaming.
Yeah.
There were 3 2x8 tables, well, a little bit larger, but 2x8 tables, full.
Yes.
Full of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
people got, there was plaques for all the different
and then also plaques.
Categories, I should say. So,
mine's in the car, or else I'd show you.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. But there was plaques for people, and then for unreleased miniatures, they donated for the Hobbit players for second and third. They donated discounts off of
25, 2015 going down.
Exactly. And then
Battle Brothers did our trophies for
painted
best painted
Evil and
for
Good, yeah.
Evil and Good, and then
which Adam did great.
They were
painting
spectacular.
those, so,
They were spectacular, and they were unreleased miniatures on them,
which was made into
to
the
a diorama. You'll see photos on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
And then all the rest of our prizes, except for one, were all Forge World items.
That's right.
So
we had Thranduil on Elk. We managed to get an Alfred Lick Spittle. There it is.
Okay.
Lick Spittle. So the one where he's dressed up as a girl with the coins in his.
We've got the
boots.
kids.
Yeah, we have Bart's kids.
Which were not even released yet, except for at Articon.
At that point, I think they're on pre-order now.
But they're still not released.
Yeah, you can't get them.
No.
Yeah, this is the first copy maybe second copy because Evan has a copy as well.
Yeah.
And so Garrett sold them to us.
Yeah.
And so I paid him $25 and I managed to get it, and so that went to our most thematic army.
Yeah.
And then
we also had a terrain pack that was the 3 Osgiliath ruins, which of course Ben Boomer, our terrain master at the OSCGL, decided to take those because that's Ben.
Yeah, it's weird. You know what? I'm honestly to spoiler alert. the how I did things is I announced 3rd, 2nd, 1st. As if you didn't watch the other video, which you should go back and watch the other video.
Yeah.
I announced the winners 3rd, 2nd, 1st, and then decided to determine what their prizes were. And instead of having a specific prize for each position, like each placing person, I allowed the first person to choose, or first place person to choose of the 3 placing prizes what he wanted. So Ben Boomer came in first, so he chose the Osgiliath ruins. Why? Because he uses those to make amazing terrain.
Because he is our terrain master in that. And also I don't think he runs either elves or evil. So
he doesn't run He doesn't run specifically.
Mirkwood elves. So.
Yes. And then Garrett took Thranduil, so on Elk, so that was 2nd place. Then Antonio took the Gundabad Troll because that was what was left. But I'm like, but when you look at it, Ben took the 2nd highest priced item.
Yeah.
Antonio, who's in 3rd, took the highest priced item.
Yeah.
And then Garrett in 2nd got the least
on a scale of what are we talking, like $20
difference
or something like that.
Nothing huge. Don't get me wrong, but it's just funny when you look at it. But I liked it because they could choose what they wanted to choose.
100%.
Right?
Well, didn't Garrett say that he didn't buy one? Am I remembering that right?
Well, he didn't load up on buying stuff over there.
Yeah,
because he couldn't fit it.
Yeah, but I also thought I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Garrett. That you said that you didn't buy it there because you wanted to win it at the event.
I'm not sure.
So I may have heard that, which is great that he did get it then.
Yeah.
So and Antonio played evil, so his Gundabad Troll.
It's a Gundabad Troll. If he runs Azog's Legion, you can add that troll in there, which. That's an amazing sculpt. I got the scything hand one.
Of course,
which
you have to.
I love that one. I like the facial features in that on the troll. I love it.
It's impeccable. So then,
but I will say the kids were a hot commodity. Like there was a lot of guys that wanted to get the thematic award. Like Derek, he really wanted the kids. He's like, oh, they're awesome, right? But
it was actually a 2-way tie between Derek.
Yeah, it was.
John. So then we had to bring in. Then we pulled in Chris from
Canhammer.
From Canhammer, we said, "Yo, we need somebody who's impartial, who doesn't know any of the guys here.
Yeah, that's right.
Just look at it purely on theme
they both had 5 votes.
Yeah.
For the most thematic army.
Yeah.
So Derek was a Moria monster army,
Yeah.
strictly Moria.
Yeah.
So Cave Drake, Watcher in the Water, spiders.
No, he didn't have the Cave Drake. You're thinking of Michael.
Oh, I'm thinking of Michael. Sorry, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he was a Moria Misty Mountains type thing.
No, just Moria.
Well, he had wargs in there,
That's
spiders.
Yeah, they're all from Moria.
Yeah, so shows you how well I know the evil books.
Yes. So that's right.
Yeah.
Michael was doing the Cave Drake, and so there was his stuff, and then there was Jonathan, who had all eagles, then Radagast riding an eagle, and Beorn.
Yeah.
And so I explained to Chris that the most thematic is the most thematic scene. You know, something that closely relates
something
to the
like
book,
that.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so he went with Jonathan, and he was that tiebreaker with the Eagles, and so that's why Jonathan got the kids. So
rightly deserved, because that man always goes themey with all Eagles.
That's it
every time.
And I love it though.
I love it too.
It reminds me of like It reminds me of the scene when the Eagles are coming in and everything. Bear horns getting dropped off and bear form.
Like
and
I think I think it was at my tournament. He asked me, "Hey, can I take 5 points and give 5 points to my partner?" Mine was the doubles, and I was like, "What's it for?" And he's like, "It's for a really themey thing." I was like, "Okay, if you're bringing Eagles, you can shift those 5 points." His partner was a new player as well, so it was just like,
was it Tyler or Zach?
Neither. It was oh God, what's his name? It's his buddy who you haven't met yet, so you wouldn't know his name. So, sorry, I forget your name. I'm terrible with names. But they ended up going with a different list anyway, so it didn't affect that. But yeah, it was.
But yeah, so that was good. You know what I mean?
And right next to us, running the War Machine and Hordes, we met Moose Machine.
Yeah, you know what? And so they're a War Machine and Hordes only YouTube channel. They do
YouTube channel. They also do a podcast that's associated with it. I forget what it's called. They told me, but again, terrible with names.
They do a monthly news or a weekly news report on War Machine and Hordes, as well as coverage of tournaments, battle reports, stuff like that. Like they would have been live streaming multiple games over the course of these 3 days. Except the internet at the convention, it was free, but it wasn't up to speed to be able to stream.
No, I don't think we had free internet there.
No, we did.
Did we?
Yeah, we had free internet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was free internet there. So.
Well, the TOs paid for it.
Okay, but it was free to, if you want access to it. The TOs might have paid for it,
gotcha.
But it opened it up to everybody,
Gotcha.
and the username and password was given.
Gotcha.
Right? So,
Gotcha. Yeah.
at least to the TOs.
Okay.
So he couldn't stream, but he was just recording instead. And his setup, his rig, was fantastic. Like,
well, you guys filmed on the table.
We
did.
didn't
use his. He filmed in the very think football
style,
commentary with the camera kind of
up. The touch screen where you can, as you're watching the video, whatever he touches on the touch screen is highlighted through the video. You know what I mean?
And he's got that high kind of corner angle, which we don't really do. So we used his lights and we used his mat and everything like that. But we
just filmed
our style. So.
Exactly. So that was good. But
they were great guys.
Great guys. Great.
Oh.
Everybody that I met there was fantastic.
But I have to say, George
was great.
George,
loved him.
We talked. Pieces. Yeah,
he's like a big teddy bear.
He brought you an extra photo of.
Yeah. So because I play Grimkin in War Machine and Hordes. It's a Hordes faction.
Yeah.
And I haven't played War Machine or Hordes in a couple of years because I moved away from my local area and players years ago, and so when I was away, I had nobody to play, so I sold them all. Yeah. But I saw the Grimkin, and now that I'm living near my friends that I used to play with, they're like, "You gotta play, you gotta play, you gotta play." And so I picked up the Grimkin faction, and I saw this picture that George printed
had for one of the prizes.
It was great. It was all framed and like it was all like a stained sort of scroll type fabric, while it was just a picture, regular paper, but stained that way. And so I'm like, oh, that is a fantastic piece of art, and I really liked it. And so the next day he comes up and he's like, here, I got a gift for you, thanks.
Here you go. Here's the picture that you like that you were drooling over that you can't win.
And
Thank you.
So I thanked him, profusely. It was great.
And then I was talking to him about stuff, and he was drooling over my tabletop building that I got from the models from Lords of War way back when. And he was drooling over it, being like, man, I wish I had them. And I was like, dude, I wish I had more. Like, I got these on such a great deal from them. So it was like that. And then he said, oh, I have a copy of the, he had an extra set of the town square.
Yeah.
And he was like,
it all for his bases and stuff.
But he had an extra set, and he was like, he brought it in and gave it to me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what? Like, and he was like, I've got really no use for this one. It's yours if you want it. And I was like,
thank you.
Dude, thank you so much. So it was just like, so yeah, he was amazing to have beside us. Great wealth of knowledge too in the wargaming world. Like,
he had a ton of connections. Like his prizes were phenomenal, and we gave out specific prizes more or less to people. Yeah. He had two tables set up of prizes because the connections that he has in the wargaming community.
Well, his tables were thinner, so really only one. He had like the foot and a half table.
Okay. Yeah. Well, either way.
Yeah. It was still a bunch. It was like 16 feet a table.
Yeah. It was, but the connections he had in the gaming community in his area, because he used to be so invested into the press ganger group, which are people that would go around running tournaments, stuff like that for War Machine. People would donate him hundreds of dollars worth of stuff. Like that table probably had about $2,000 worth of prize support on it.
And he did a really interesting way of giving them out. So everything that the War Machine and Hordes guys did throughout the weekend, whether it was competing in a tournament, having painted models, playing demo games.
Yeah, but and that's a good thing. I was about to say that if you didn't, is that he pushed his guys to get out of their comfort area of War Machine and Hordes and try other games because there was demo games happening of other systems such as Hobbits, and so that's.
But he gave them all skulls for it, so it was all worth this.
Yeah, it was like a currency, right?
Yeah, a currency.
So, each prize had a lot
currency value on it. So there were guys pushing for certain things. I know one guy got a $250 bag because he pushed hard for it and he was just going for it.
It was 200 skulls, I think.
It was. No, I don't think it was that much, but it was a little less. But I heard him talking at one point. He's like, "Yeah, dude, I'm not even placing in the top anything." He's like,
"But because you're doing all this other stuff."
Because he was a commissioned painter. I forget his name, and he's not going to watch this. So, but so all of his models were painted. He played all the demo games. He was doing this. He was doing that. He was talking to people. So he was pushing out to get that. So he walked away, even though he was nowhere near placing.
He still walked away.
With a great prize.
I thought it was a unique way of doing prizes. If you can get it like that, where you have all that prize support, that's a really interesting way, because now it's not just going out to top tier. Like he had stuff for top tables and top placing members.
Well, they got skulls.
Yes, no. They got plaques and that, but they got other stuff. I don't know why.
But I think they also got skulls for placing.
They earned
skulls,
extra skulls,
for placing.
Yes. So that was unique. It would
be interesting to try and formulate that into a SBG, but again, our biggest problem is that our products aren't carried in any stores, no store can donate it to us.
Yeah, unless they have old product.
Unless they have old stock
they're
lying
not
around.
selling, right?
Yeah,
Stuff
exactly.
Like that.
So
it makes it a little bit harder, and because the size of our tournament, you don't have the backing of GW, and I get that.
Rightly so. We completely agree.
Because
well, we only had 14. So.
Yeah, and they specifically for Hobbit, right? And so they have their own rules in that to back certain things because. They have to as a company.
100%. There's going to be a line somewhere. There's going to be a line somewhere, so they put it there.
That's
we're not there yet.
That's the only way that I think that it would make sense
100%.
for us, is if we had backing from like GW and other stores.
Yeah, 100%. So.
Who knows? Maybe Dylan and Multizone can help. In the future, maybe.
That connection, and so maybe next year.
Yeah, next year. Will there be a next year?
Well, CCBB will be happening next year for sure. They're already in talks. Even though this one just wrapped up, it's like, it's going to be August again, and we're like, we're going to Articon.
And we were straight out and honest with them. We're like, if it happens in the week where we've heard Articon is happening.
It has been announced that it is happening.
Yeah, it is.
So,
but I mean, if Capital City Bloodbath happens that week,
they
and they're not sure yet.
So, the CCBB guys for Canhammer, a couple of them go over to ETC for Warhammer 40K.
First week of August.
Which is first week of August.
Yeah.
So it makes this weird. So they're just getting back, and they normally do it as a trip type thing because, of course, if you're in Europe, you're going to do it.
Right?
So then they travel over into the trip. So then it's like literally, I think he was still on Italian time
when he came here.
When he was
Spain.
He was in Spain.
Madrid,
Sorry,
Madrid, I believe. So
but I think they traveled.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't remember. I didn't creep the Facebook post that scrolled up on my feed that well, but he was still on European time.
Yeah.
On the Friday that we were starting.
Yeah.
The Thursday night that we were loading in.
Yeah.
The stuff for CCBB.
But yeah, so the CCBB, as you mentioned, will happen. Will we be there doing the Hobbit again? I want to.
I do too.
You know what I mean? I would say yes.
Yeah.
But with that being said, if it falls near Articon, I won't be able to do it.
You won't be able to do it.
Doesn't mean you can't.
Doesn't mean I can. So our hope is that they don't. We've told them, do not do Articon weekend.
Yeah. So
and
the
I've
17th
said,
and the 19th.
Yeah, and I said I will make my schedule work that I can do. Another. If you do it the weekend before or after, I will figure out my flights so that I can be there, and I will be on UK or Swedish time because I've got friends over there.
Whatever you decide to do.
Yeah, so it will be like, I'll be on European time, just like Chris was, so that we can get her done and do it well and all of that sort of thing. So
that sums it up.
That's all that was on our piece of paper here to talk about? I think so.
Yeah.
On our 40-minute video, so...
It's been a while.
Yeah. Watch it as a I'm gonna put a thing in the thing. Maybe listen to it as if it's a podcast.
A thing in the thing.
A thing in the description.
In the description below. Remember, check the description below.
We're gonna have
Patreon too, right?
Yeah, there's Patreon, so we're gonna have those links. We're gonna have links for all of the sponsors that we got for this one.
If we can, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna try and find them and make it work so that you can contact Unreleased Miniatures, Generation Shift, Gaming Grass, Secret Weapons, Battle Brothers, Multi-Zone, Moose Machine, Canhammer, CCBB. We'll put it all down below. So if you want to find any information about any of the stuff,
check them all out.
Yeah.
And like we took a bunch of pictures, but the Canhammer guys have a bunch too, so you can go to their Facebook page and check out even more. Not just Hobbit related, but everything related.
Everything going on. I got a couple photos of the big thing. I didn't go around and do a lot of.
I did some.
Yeah, I didn't do much, so you'll still see that there. And, I think that's it.
That is it. Well, guys, thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, ignite your hobby.